dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Hello friends. Today I am going to be working on a chemise, and it's going to be for a cosplay of Christine Daae from the movie adaptation of Phantom of the Opera, specifically when she sings All I Ask. We're starting with the foundation of this 19th century inspired look with the chemise. When you look closely, you can see that Christine's chemise is lace. However, that is not historically accurate. A chemise was typically made from cotton, linen, or occasionally silk, and served the important function of protecting outer garments from sweat and body oils. I'm going to make this piece out of cotton muslin. It's breathable, light, and will be comfortable. To keep the outfit romantic, I will add delicate lace to the hems to trim the garment. The neckline is wide, which will allow it to sit well under the corset and expose the décolletage, very in line with the romantic aesthetic of Christine's character. Christine's chemise is a bit more fitted than what you might see in a working class version, so I've taken cues from period undergarments, but also from the film's softer, more theatrical styling. I do not have a pattern for this piece, but I was able to find what it would typically look like, so I added the measurements I need for it. For the length of the chemise, I want it to fall just below my knees, so I will be making my chemise 48 inches long. The width is going to be 26 inches wide. I chose this measurement because my cutting board had that measurement as the width of it, so it was simply out of ease. Both the 48 inches and the 26 inches have the hem measurements added. I only added an inch for the hems. The top part of the chemise will have ruching, so I added an extra 2 inches for that. I used an undershirt that I had to copy its armholes, and I mimicked its front and back neckline as well. However, I don't believe that it made a difference, so you may keep or take that step out yourself. For the sleeves, I made the width 20 inches wide, which may seem like much, but I will be adding ruching to the sleeves as well. The length will be 12 inches long. It'll have ruching on both the top and the bottom of it, so it has the 4 total inches for ruching added. Dun dun dun! Armpit, armpit, armpit. I couldn't decide between tea or strawberry milk, so I got a root beer. This is where I doubted my math, so I had to try it on. I wasn't convinced that it would work well, but I had faith, and it did work, so I went ahead and trusted my mental math. I'm just sewing the chemise's inside seams before I add the sleeves, because I need to do all of that before I can do the ribbon part. I just sewed the inner seams together on both the body and the sleeves before I started pinning the ruching and hems. Turning the sleeve inside out so that the outsides face each other when I put it in, like so. This is what I've got so far. I think it'll work. Yeah, and it's the length I want it to be too. So you can see my gorgeous feet. Feet. This is where we start getting precise. Okay. So I added seam allowance, and now ruffle. Ruffle. That is perfect. I'm just gonna pin it along here. Not usually very precise with my pinning, but I'm gonna try and be, especially since I'm trying to add ruffles in it. I need to sew this down. This is what it looks like when I rolled it over on the inches. I'm gonna do a button stitch and then just run it through there. I went digging through my button bag to find a button that I thought would be small enough for the ribbon to enter. I had to dump them all out on the table. Here, let me see if I can show you. Oh, there, all of them. I only have one bag of buttons, which is enough for me, but I guess for right now, I will need to get more buttons. Buttons, 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 the buttons. Oh no, she says the ribbons.
Yeah, sorry, the ribbons, the ribbons, the ribbons.
The ribbons. Okay, this is my first time doing this. I'm doing a practice one first. Ah! I'm so happy. Look at that beautiful buttonhole, I guess. It's gorgeous! Ah, such a fancy sewing machine. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, I'm so happy. I wasn't like frustrated when I was having to go through the steps of trying to solve it. I was kind of like, okay, whatever, you know, like I want it to be done right, so I'm gonna figure out what I'm doing wrong, that way it can be perfect. But I went from like a low mood to like super joy-filled, because I have buttonholes. Hey. Hello. You wanna say hi? Come here. This is Marmalade. Six perfect little buttonholes. Buttons! I am going to stitch down the inside seam here on the sleeve as well. I did this for the seams that are going to be on the, or I guess for the shoulder sleeve. For the sleeve? Oh my goodness. I stitched down the seams for the sleeve when it connects to the rest of the garment. When I run the ribbon through it, it doesn't get caught on it, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch the whole thing down so it'll stay in place. And then I'm going to repeat the process of the hemming for the sleeve. Roll it down twice and do the same thing that I did for the top. Because of my, so I have neuropathy, and because of it, I'm extremely weak, and ripping the seams has been something that I have found out I have a really hard time with. Today my hands are like really shaky, and so I'll put the needle towards it or the ripper towards it, and I miss it half of the time because my hands are shaky. And I knew they were shaky at the beginning of the day, and I was like, that's probably gonna cause difficulty today. Since I've been picking up sewing as my craft of sanity lately, I am not cutting corners. I am going to do it right the first time. If it's not right the first time, then I'm going to fix it. That way it's a piece I actually love. Quality, not quantity. Okay. So the picture, she has two different laces. A thicker one on the bottom and a thinner one right above it. And they have like a little scallop pattern to them. And so I think if I just put them on like this, when I string it together, it'll bunch up together and have that little scallop effect. They're so cute. This one, little flowers on it. It's so pretty. I love lace apparently. Look at this one. It's so pretty. This one is hearts. Focus. Please. I have to show all of them. Let me get this out of the way. These are them. They're all super cute. Here, that one. I love this one. That one's so pretty. I feel like this is very Oklahoma, the musical. I would go with Oklahoma. I love them all so much. This one, or this one for the bottom. I think I'm gonna go with this one because I'm gonna cover the top. And a smaller one. Let's look at these smaller ones. I think I like this one for it to go on top of it. Yeah, I think that's the one. These are the ones. This one for the bottom of the chemise. So I think this one's cute. Oh, the hearts. I need to have something else for the hearts though, because I feel like the hearts need to be themed with another heart lovey theme. This isn't very heart lovey themed. This is very much underwear that gets covered with her costumes. There's nothing fancy about how I pinned these on. I just made sure that they were not going to sew shut the ribbon's path. So I put the larger one at the bottom of the ribbon seam and the smaller one on the ruching seam. I'm gonna only do one ruffle on the sleeve, and I'm just gonna do it on the top stitch and leave that one alone. Yes, just barely enough for the sleeve. Look. That's all that's left after doing both of the sleeves in this. Just barely enough. I'm trying to decide if I actually need lace on the bottom or not. Because if I have it up like this, without. I like it with it. We're going with lace on the bottom. They probably wouldn't have put lace on the bottom of their chemise. It doesn't make sense because it would be covered and no one would actually see it. I want it to look cute on its own as well. Little comfortable nightgown. That's the goal I'm going for. Marmalade. Come here. Come here. Sorry I left you alone. I'm sorry. I left you in there all by yourself. Come here. Hi, baby. Hello, my love. My lady. Hello. There it is. You can see the bottom of it. I should have just pulled it up. Okay. There's the bottom of it. And there's the top of it. It'll look much better when it's cinched together with the ribbons. But I'm gonna throw it in the wash first. And then I'll put the ribbon in it and I'll show it off. I just got it out of the dryer, but I wanted to show this off. This is Marmalade. She was too scared. There was a storm and it's been thundering and raining and she gets so scared. And usually I just keep her huddled up in my blankets, but the garment was done and I wanted to pull it out before it got wrinkled, and so I had to force her to go with me. And she wasn't a huge fan of it, but this was the only way I could get her. It's a good decision to wear overalls today. Marmalade snuggled with me the whole time I was running the ribbon through the neckline, which was a long time because I totally lost it in there a few times. And there we have it. First look done. I guess first piece to the look. But this is it. I think it turned out so good. I think it's really cute, the bows, the lace. It washed lovely in the washing machine. I didn't have to iron it or anything, which was really nice. And my sleeve keeps falling down, but it's because I wanted it to be able to go off the shoulder. So here it is. I'll tighten it if I ever do wear it off the shoulder, but I'll most likely wear it just this way. But I think it's so cute. I loved working on this project. I haven't used cotton muslin before this, and I think it's my new favorite fabric. I'm so excited to see what else I can do with it. The majority of the Christine Daae look will be out of this fabric. I love the little pink ribbon and how it is a pop of color, and I super love the lace. I'm really glad that I did the ruching underneath the lace because I think it gave the garment more depth. The sleeves turned out better than I expected, and they're very comfortable as well. If you're not going for historical accuracy, then put elastic in the sleeves because it was awkward to tie the ribbons on my arms. However, it wasn't challenging. Bye! Here's your ASMR exit. Lacy.